Hey folks, welcome back to Trusting Unbar Gaming for another episode of Star Citizen. We're in our C2 Hercules with our Atlas, and we've accepted a couple hauling missions. This is a viewer requested where we do some hauling missions and talk a little bit about what happens if you don't have all the cargo and what happens with that. So I have selected a couple missions here. I went with the experience rank missions. So we have some waste, 423 SCU that are 32 SCU containers. I did one of these the other day. I like now that we're getting these bigger containers. Um, it's a lot nicer to load 423 when it's already in 32 SCU containers. Although they can be somewhat tricky to load. We'll go over that. And then once we reach Everest, we have um, a mission from Magnus to Terra Gateway, a 32 SCU, and then from Terra Gateway to the Pyro Gateway, 584 SCU that are 32 SCU. Again, the C2 Hercules can hold 696 SCU on the grid. So once we get to Everest, we'll see if they don't have a mission there that takes us to Magnus, where we can pick up some there. That way we're making money on every trip. That's our goal. But I do like these missions, but there is obviously some glitches and things that we have to deal with. But we're going to start with this. We're here at Seraphim, it's our base, and we're going to load this 423 SCU and head over to Everest Harbor. As you can see, I already have the cargo pulled up here. Generally, when doing hauling missions, I generally load the nose of the ship towards the elevator and load the back first, but the front is a more narrow opening. So with these 32 SCUs, I like to have the back and load the front first, simply because you have more room here to get those big containers through. And when you grab them with the Atlas likes to spin them. And if you go through the front, it just keeps hitting those front upper doors. We also have a video coming out where we used our new Hull C. There's a lot of glitches with the Hull C, but they are working on them from what I understand. And we were able to complete one mission yesterday with the Hull C. You can see how it spins it there. And then it catches on the door. Sometimes you have to get down here so that it will drag it through. There we go. Sometimes you have to just set it down and then reposition it. And then of course we'll make sure there is some glitches with this right now. This is what the Atlas was designed for, to lift these heavy containers, but sometimes it does act up a little bit. Obviously, being the more narrow part of the ship, we can fit 3 across here and 3 up high. Sometimes you have to exit the Atlas and use your max lift, but we'll just see how it works. Oh, we have the Fortunately, when you're inside the ship, you can't block your view, so if you can get down this ramp, it does raise it up a little bit, it's a little easier to see. Sometimes you have to fight with it. So definitely, like I say, there's some glitches. Just one of those things we have to deal with. Kind of sucks. That's the reason Atlas has been able to lift every cargo. But just the way it is. Yeah, they got that everything. Just put the Atlas aside, use a max lift load in your home. Might as well do it easy. Occasionally get that for it. Just turn it on so it doesn't load. And you keep fighting with it, it's just easy to get out. I mean, it's still faster than loading individual containers. You just keep enabling it. Eventually it'll go in. Then you see that grid is full, except for this small section here. So I'll put the rest in the back container here. Back section. There's a 1 SCU container here. Put it up here in this small section. That's what these red lines are here for. That shows the outside marking of the grid. And you come up here and see this is marking the grid. Then we go got that. That's where it goes. I was faster with the rest of this. We're going to see each one of these. Sometimes this tailgate doesn't go all the way down. There's a lip there. And if you're right on top of it when you get out of the Atlas, it will kill you. I learned that the other day, which was fun. So all you have to really do is lift it above the lift, that lip. But since we already have it up here, we'll just go ahead and move it on in. And then whenever we get to Everest, we will park the ship at the back and offload it through that way. So with this mission, you have these 32 SCUs, obviously. You have a 2 SCU, a 4 SCU, and this 1 SCU. So on this mission, if we were missing a 1 SCU, or even a 2 SCU or a 4 SCU, when we went to cash it in, whatever reason, it didn't give us credit for it, we misplaced it. There are all type of glitches that happen. You can still cash the mission in and get paid, you just won't get paid the full amount. But once you're missing so much of a cargo haul, and I don't know what that amount is, to be honest with you. I haven't found anybody that said specifically what the percentage is. But for this one, it's 423 SCU in total. If we were missing like 2 of these 32 SCUs, I believe it is, but like I say, I don't know exactly, then you'll still get paid, but it will destroy your your rep with these companies. And then it lowers the grade of the missions that you have access to, and you have to rebuild that reputation, to get the better missions again. So, like I say, you can miss small amounts, you'll still get paid. If you're missing a large amount, you can still get paid. Again, you're going to get dinged quite a bit, but it's also going to destroy your rep. So you have to be really careful with that. And you also want to be careful about abandoning missions as well.
Crusader Industries, a journey breathtaking. Systems on.
Also, we had somebody that commented, I'd made numerous comments in several videos. We were having trouble with the OBS we were using to record, where for some reason it was cutting off part of the screen. And I've been working on that and I believe I have it fixed. But again, I'm not a professional gamer nor editor, and I am working on that. And hopefully this video will be fixed where it's not cutting that screen off.
Engines on.
All right, we're to Everest. Hurry up. So let's go ahead and set down claim hanger. There's the load again. And this back rail layer closes to the back of the ship. So let's go ahead and use this one right here. Of course, we're in front of the ship wall. That's good. That's good enough. See it lines up. And do a little more. There we go. Not often. We'll go ahead and fill up. Doing my repairs.
Systems off.
I like to set the smaller boxes to the side until I've got all the larger boxes in. As you can see, when you pick this up, it tries to spin them, and in doing so, this is the type of crap that it does. So once again, it looks like I may have to just do it by hand. A lot of glitches today. I had a mission the other day with these 32 SCUs where the cargo elevator was, even in a large hangar, was not big enough to pick them all up at one time. It actually overloaded the cargo elevator. So I had to bring up some of them, load the ship, send the elevator back down. Now, thankfully, when sending them down, it wasn't an issue. It allowed me to load them all on one elevator to send them down. Because when you're sending them down, you can't send them down in segments. It has to be at one time, or it tries to, the ones that are not on there, not give you credit for them. It won't let you do partial shipments. Sometimes people will take these huge missions with several thousand SCU, and their ship doesn't support that, and so they brought some over, sent it down, and what it does, it gives you credit for what you brought. It doesn't allow you to store in doesn't allow you to store them. The only way you could possibly get away with that is if you put some in one of the cargo elevators but didn't send it down and hope that it stayed there while you went and got the rest, and then try to load it all in that one cargo elevator. But doesn't always do that, so be careful about that. Sometimes they'll disappear, sometimes it'll send them down. It's better to make sure that your ship can hold the amount of cargo that you're picking up. But all the elevators sit down, that's all we can pray for. This still beats having to do 400 of 1 or 2 SCU boxes. You can see you can't fit them all that way, so you're going to have to stack some of them. Which is nothing wrong with that, you can't definitely stack them. Now these front ones you can't turn them. You put them like that. Also be careful about hitting yourself with these boxes. So there's 2 SCU, nothing to do. Then with the space you have left, you can go ahead and put these boxes in. As long as you see that grid pop up where it locks in, that's all that matters. And then I like to go ahead and check the ship just to make sure I didn't miss something. Wouldn't be a big box, obviously, but sometimes these little small boxes, depending on their color, can blend in with the striping of the ship. I have had that before. There are glitches where you put everything in, and for whatever reason it doesn't recognize one of the boxes and will short you on the mission. There's just things you have to deal with when you're dealing with Star Citizen, that there's going to be glitches and bugs and stuff like that. But here it shows that we have 13 of the 32 SCU, 1 4 SCU, 1 2, and 1 1. We're getting full credit. It's all green. Go and confirm. That's what we're sending down. That's what we want to do. And you can see it's showing us that we got completion for that mission. Now, for whatever reason, it didn't automatically show it as complete, but you can see here it's showing we had 423 of the 423. So we'll go down here and hit submit. If that showed up red, or it only showed you had 400 or 300 and something, you can still hit submit, and again, you're going to get dinged not only in pay, but if there's a certain amount that you're missing, it's going to also ding your rep, and you definitely don't want that. So we did complete that. Again, it shows it's all there. We'll go ahead and click submit. We're going to get paid. We'll go back here, So now we have the one going from Magnus to Terra, and then Terra to Pyro. There's a lower cargo. Probably just go ahead and load these by hands. I'll fast forward through all of this. You've already seen me do this. Alright, to show you an example, I've got that one SCU I didn't put in. So I can click to send this down, but it's going to show me that I'm missing an 8 and a 1 SCU. I don't know where that 8 was. It wasn't in the container. It wasn't in what they gave me to pick up. So we'll go ahead and put the 1 SCU in there. There wasn't an 8 to pick up. It wasn't in what came up in the lift. So that's just one of them glitches where you can see it's not in the ship. And I don't remember it being in there. We cleaned it all out. So for this particular mission, we're going to be short an 8 SCU. Now with 425 SCU, being short an 8 is not going to destroy our rep, as far as I know. And we will still get paid, but it's going to short us that money for that waste container that we missed, so we won't get full price. Alright, so now it's giving me an error. I'm not sure what's going on there. Let's make sure none of these went over the line. They all seem to be... These are just some of the glitches you have to deal with. Alright, so it is going to take it now. So we will get paid for it, but we're going to be short. Now we have this cargo we have to pick up and take to the next destination. So this shows 18. It's saying that's over the capacity for what it will take. So what you have to do is split these up. Let's split them by 10 and see if it'll let us take 10 with this. Okay. So we'll pull those up, load them, and then we still have to pull those last 8 up. Just can't forget to do it or you'll be short and it'll ding your credit, your rep. Thank you. And it's showing us we have everything we're supposed to have, so we'll get full payment. We'll go ahead and check our contracts. And all of them have gone through. So we only have one out of the three. And then obviously from here, you could go into offers and see, because we're based out of Seraphon, and see if there's any hauling missions coming from here going back to Seraphon. The video is already getting a little long, so we're going to end it there. We appreciate you watching. Thanks to all those that are liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing. We appreciated the request. Hopefully that gave you the information that you need. The basics are, make sure your ship can hold the amount of cargo that you're picking up. If there's too much for the elevator, you have to bring it up and then go send it back down, bring up the second part and load it. And then sometimes you're just going to be short. If you're way short and you can't find where that cargo is at, it just disappears. Be careful about submitting, because it will destroy your rep. Again, I don't know exactly what that amount is, but if you are short, like in that case, an 8 SCU out of 400 and something, I went ahead and submitted it, and it didn't ding our rep. It just simply docked some of the pay out of the mission. Those things are going to happen. Also, be careful where you're picking up and where you're dropping off. Not all the places that it gives you to pick up and drop off are friendly sites. There are pirates and also griefers and players who target people bringing cargo and to see what they can steal from you. So be careful about that. But again, we appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.